The Young and the Restless scoop for Thursday, June 5 reveals Victoria Newman will force Cole Howard to see a doctor. Also coming up, Kyle Abbott will make a deal with the devil. Plus, Damian Kane will have bad news for Holden Novak. And Audra Charles will suggest Victor Newman procure her and a Kyle an invite to Dumis' party in France. I&R spoilers tease Amy Lewis will tell Audra and Nate Hastings she's made a decision about her future. I have decided to relocate to Genoa City, and Nate and Audra will embrace her. Meanwhile, a surprised Kyle will arrive at the ranch. I wouldn't be so pleased yet, Victor will reply, until you hear my response to your proposal. To refresh viewers' memories, Kyle offered to sign a contract stipulating that if Kyle will tell Victor he's surprised he's agreed to his offer. You'll only be surprised when you decide to hurt my granddaughter, Victor will say. However, Kyle will tell him it'll never happen. Then Victor will hand him the contract, which he has had written up. Surprisingly, Victor will say he's impressed. Maybe I've been wrong about you all along. Kyle will say he'll send it by his guy, but he'll change his mind and decide to sign it. You will never need to enforce that, Kyle will say. I'm going to make Claire happy. At the GCAC restaurant, Damian will tell Lily Winters he's meeting Holden to let him know he's out of a job. I was wondering, hoping, there might be a position at Winters you can offer him, he'll add. Damian will tell Lily he just wants to do something to help soften the blow. A concerned Holden will ask Damian if he needs to fly back to LA to fix something for Dumis. He fired us, Damian will reply. Holden will flip out and say Damian threw him under the bus. He'll add that he casually ditched him for a woman he barely knows. But Damian will say Lily's going to look for a position at Winters for him. I have had enough, Holden will reply. I think it's time for both of us to make a clean break. Then he'll storm off when Amy and Audra show up. Audra will get a call and tell Amy it's work. I've got to take this. It's Victor, of course. I need to see you. Now, she'll arrive at the ranch and ask Victor what the problem is. He'll say the problem is that she hasn't convinced his granddaughter that Kyle's a bad guy. These things take time, Victor, she'll reply. Victor will say he doesn't care how she does it, but something better have happened before he gets back from France. Audra will point out it might just make sure Kyle and I get invited to this French soiree. I'll take care of the rest. Finally, at the tack house, Cole will keep on coughing, but he'll insist to Victoria and Claire that he's okay. I keep telling you too, this is just a... However, then he'll start coughing again. So Victoria will call the doctor, who will come over. He'll examine Cole, and, using a stethoscope, he'll listen to his breathing. I don't like the sound of his chest, the doctor will tell Victoria and Claire. We need to get him to the hospital for x-rays. He'll add it could be pneumonia, but tests will tell them more. Victoria will insist on going with Cole to the hospital, and Claire will agree to stay behind. Just get better, she'll tell her dad, as she holds his hand. I love you, but will Cole survive this? Keep reading the Soap Scoop for Young and the Restless spoilers and news. And make sure to also join our Mariah and our Facebook group or leave us a reply in our comment section. But if you miss an episode, don't fret. You can watch The Young and The Restless online at cbs.com. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. The Young and the Restless spoilers hint that there could be a hidden clause in Kyle Abbott's signed contract. Will Victor Newman's tricky move add to the disaster that's looming? In Y&R's June 5 episode, Victor agreed to Kyle's terms and handed over a contract for him to sign. Since Kyle was so eager to prove he could be trusted with Claire Newman's heart, he signed the paperwork without letting his lawyer approve. Based on Kyle's signature, he could be forced to pay $5 million and leave Genoa City if he hurts Claire like Victor's been predicting. Kyle thinks he knows what he's getting himself into here, but that's obviously not the case. For starters, author Charles is plotting to break up Kyle's romance with Claire on Victor's orders. There's already a lot working against Kyle when it comes to this risky contract. However, things may be even riskier than Kyle realizes. Is there a reason why Victor gave Kyle a nudge to sign on the spot, instead of letting his legal counsel look over it? It's possible Victor just assumed Kyle's attorney, or even Jack Abbott, would talk him out of signing if they got updates. That said, we should also consider the possibility that Victor deceived Kyle about something else in the contract. Perhaps Victor rushed Kyle into this so that a particular clause wouldn't be discovered. Did Kyle sign something that could affect Jabot as well? Kyle is the co-CEO of the company and is authorized to make deals, so trouble could be brewing. What if Victor is using Jack's son against him once again? Could there be a clause that'll give Victor the upper hand and do some serious Jabot damage? Once Jack and Diane Jenkins Abbott find out about Kyle's disturbing contract news, they're bound to flip out. One way or another, Kyle will inevitably have regrets when it comes to signing this contract and setting up a major downfall. Chelsea, played by Melissa Claire Egan, is trying to keep Adam from the dark side on The Young and the Restless. Soap Central caught up with the Daytime Emmy nominee to chat about the recently reunited duo at a benefit in West Hollywood for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. On the True Bader stage in West Hollywood, Egan reunited with school pal Carla Mosley and a slew of daytime pals from all 5 soaps to perform songs and later mingle with attendees, all for a great cause. Egan gives props to the event's organizer, Leslie Brooks O'Brien. She is incredible, Egan raves. This amazing girl is 18 years old, and she put this together with her mom. She had DM'd me, and then we started texting, and she told me about it. I was like, of course, I'd love to. Egan was especially excited about the opportunity to perform, as it gave her the chance to step on stage once again with Mosley. We hadn't sung together since 1999, the actress recalls. The two did run into each other years ago, when Egan played Annie on All My Children and Egan and Mosley performing together isn't the only reunion for the actress this year. Chelsea and Adam have found their way back to each other following their relationships, respectively, with Billy and Sally, who have found happiness with each other. It's not just Chelsea and Adam's son Connor who's jazzed about the reunion. Many diehard Chatham fans are glad about it too. I hope so, Egan enthuses. It's fun. I love working with Mark. I love working with everybody on the show. It's a fun dynamic. Adam and Chelsea are a popular pairing. People like them together, and they like them with other people too. Work is a lot of fun. We're enjoying it. Off-screen, Egan suffered a tremendous loss when she and her husband's new home, which fortunately they hadn't moved into yet, was lost in the Pacific Palisades fires. Luckily, we didn't lose our current place, she says. It could have been worse. At the end of the day, as long as my kids are healthy. Here's what happened on the June 4, 2025 episode of The Young and the Restless as Phyllis reached out to Amanda for a big favor. At the Genoa City Athletic Club, Claire gave Kyle an update on Cole's health. The good news is that he slept through the night, but the bad news is that he seems to be worse than he was the day before. Kyle pointed out that sometimes viruses take a while to go away, but he didn't think it was a bad idea for a doctor to weigh in on Cole's condition. Claire lamented that her dad wanted to handle this with over-the-counter medicine. Kyle surmised that Nikki would be okay if Claire took the day off after the big party. Claire said she wouldn't be doing that. She did say the party made Nikki and Victor happy. Claire adds that she liked spending time with Kyle, and soon she can say that around the clock. Kyle quipped from her lips to Victor's ears. At Crimson Lights, Billy greeted Chelsea, but he was cool to Adam. The two media moguls sparred over their communications companies. Billy said if he goes to Newman Media, it's to learn what not to do. He asked if Adam was ready to smear him. Timing is everything, Adam warned as Chelsea looked more and more uncomfortable. Billy warned Adam that if he made up lies about him in the press, he'd look bad. Adam told Billy that he didn't have a clue as to what he was up to. "Do I even want to know what's going on here?" Sally asked as she interrupted the two men's banter. Chelsea suggested they separate and enjoy their coffee. She then begged Adam to tell her he didn't mean what he said about going after Billy. Chelsea reminded Adam of his promise not to use Newman Media against Billy. Adam pointed out that Billy started it. Chelsea said Adam was too old to fall back on that defense. Adam said nothing had changed. He is planning on creating a scandal so distracting that Victor will not focus on Billy. "This scandal you've concocted better work," Chelsea cautioned. Adam revealed that the perfect distraction had fallen into their laps. First, Adam informed Chelsea that there was no need to pack anything for the party as they did not make Dumis's guest list. Chelsea was glad because it meant that they could focus on their company and their family. Adam said he couldn't say for sure whether or not Dumis's party was a trap or not, but he theorized that the mystery man was trying to trip up Victor. Adam says they can use the party as a distraction to get Victor to stop thinking about Billy. Meanwhile, Billy informed Sally of his invitation to Dumis's home in Nice. He noted all the other business tycoons of Genoa City also received invitations. Billy reminded Sally that she still hadn't gotten a face-to-face with Dumis. Billy said if Dumis could help knock Victor off his pedestal, it was worth getting to know Dumis. Sally suggested they focus on Abbott Communications and not Victor and Dumis. Sally urged Billy to let Jack find out what Dumis was about. After all, they're going overseas anyway for their belated honeymoon. Billy said that he knew of a way to do right by Abbott Communications and find out what Dumis was up to. Billy threw out to Sally that they should put off the debut of Abbott Communications until after Dumis's party. Sally countered that a delay would make them look weak and unprofessional. Billy suggested they'd be stronger for it, as they'd know what Dumis was up to. Diane greeted Jack at the Abbott dining room table. He suggested they leave for their overseas belated honeymoon right away. Diane replied that she loved nothing more than to ditch her commitments and have Jack all to herself. "You know we can't leave yet," Diane noted, coming down to reality. Jack countered that they deserved a break as he recounted the ordeals of Jordan, Ian, and Martin. "We deserve some time away," he said. Jack asked how Diane would feel about one little change. He suggested they skip Greece and stick to France. Diane immediately knew that that meant Jack wanted to take Dumis up on his invitation. Diane wondered why she was letting someone she hadn't even heard of a few months ago occupy now so much of her attention. She informed Jack that she was already thinking like Jack was. Diane canceled the non-France portions of their honeymoon so that they could focus on Dumis's party. Jack was happy that he and his wife thought alike. Later, Jack and Diane ran into Kyle and Claire at the GCAC. Kyle filled Diane and Jack in on Cole's health. Diane wondered why Cole couldn't shake his illness. Jack's not sure he got through to the mogul despite his wonderful speech to Nikki. Jack cautioned Kyle about making any deal with Victor. Kyle assured his father and mother that he had the situation with Victor under control. "You have to trust me on this," Kyle assured. At society, Nick and Phyllis got caught up on Summer. Phyllis playfully told Nick it was too late for him to make a special trip to Italy to see their daughter and check in on her and her new beau. Nick mused that maybe he could pop over there casually, as he might be in Europe anyway. An intrigued Phyllis wanted to know why her ex would be going abroad again so soon. Nick brought Phyllis up to speed on Dumis's invitation. Phyllis shared that she failed to meet Dumis during her recent trip to Washington, D.C. with Amanda. Nick gently let his Phyllis wryly responded, "Please, doesn't everyone?" Nick asked Phyllis if she was trying to get Dumis to fund her new company. He didn't want to sound discouraging, but he noted that Dumis wouldn't even meet with her. Phyllis was aware of that, which is why she has come up with a new plan of attack. Phyllis said her plan needed Nick's advice, but she couldn't tell him what her plan was just yet. Nick doubted Phyllis even had a plan. Phyllis said she just had one of Dumis's companies in mind, and that's all she wanted to tell Nick at the time. He didn't want to dampen her plan, but he asked if she wanted to get involved with someone as mysterious as Dumis. Phyllis countered that Nick was a hypocrite as he was going to the man's party. Phyllis let Nick know she could handle Dumis. Nick said there was a big difference between what the Newmans were doing to build a defense against Dumis and what Phyllis was planning. He added he might not even. Phyllis doubted Nick would let his parents go there alone. Nick wondered how Dumis could go after Nikki and Chancellor Industries. Chancellor is privately owned, Phyllis slyly pointed out. It's not like Dumis could take it away. Nick suspected that Dumis could play dirty and be underhanded. Phyllis said Amanda was ethical, and she wouldn't work for someone like the person Nick is describing. Phyllis warmly noted that Nick was very protective of his mother. Nick offered to protect Phyllis too, if that was what she wanted. Nick tried again, but failed to get Phyllis to share what her plan was. She told him it was nice to know that he cared. Stayed away from Dumis, Nick advised Phyllis. Completely, Phyllis suggested she join Nick on the plane so she could go with him to meet Dumis. She could practice her French. Nick doubted his ex-wife could speak that language. Then, Phyllis got out her phone and texted Amanda. She asked her pal to get her on the guest list for Dumis's big party. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Friday, June 6, reveal that Billy Abbott will face double trouble while Mariah Copeland struggles with her worst fear. Victoria Newman will also find it confident, so there will be a lot going on as the week winds down. For starters, Phyllis Summers and Sally Spectra will push each other's buttons, so that'll lead to the conflict between them boiling over. Phyllis may provoke Sally over Abbott Communications' launch delay, but Sally may take jabs right back and doubt that Phyllis will be able to worm her way into Aristotle Dumis' party. Although it'll be tough for Billy to restore any kind of peace, he'll give it a try. Billy will deal with double the trouble as Sally and Phyllis both lose their tempers on Friday's I and R episode. Over with Victoria. She'll make Nikki Newman her confidant as she frets over Cole Howard's condition. Cole could have pneumonia, or perhaps something even worse, depending on what his upcoming x-rays and rest results say. Next, Mariah will continue to fret over the awful mistake she made on her business trip. It'll keep haunting Mariah, who'll inevitably face more questions from Tessa Porter as the emotional distance grows between them. Although Tessa will want Mariah to be honest so they can work through this, Mariah will struggle over the thought of ruining their marriage and family. That'll be Mariah's worst fear as she faces pressure to come clean. Will Mariah finally admit the truth about whatever betrayal she committed, or will she keep delaying the inevitable? Did Mariah cheat on Tessa, or did something else happen instead? Regardless, Mariah will have a tough time putting on a brave face as she worries about the potential of totally blowing up her life. The Young and the Restless spoilers hint that drugged drinks could derail the Chateau party. So could some surprise passion partners result? Now that everyone's gearing up for Aristotle Dumis' extended stay bash, there's the potential for things to really go off the rails. Back in 2019, party chaos broke out at the Grand Phoenix after the sangrias got drugged. Some wild behavior resulted at that sorry thanks to the Molly that most of the partygoers inadvertently guzzled. Could Y and R be setting the stage for a similar scenario at Dumis' swanky celebration in his summer home? There's been a lot of mysterious buildup when it comes to Dumis' shindig, especially with all those jokes about it seeming like a horror flick premise. Audra Charles is hoping to attend the party along with Kyle Abbott, so it sounds like they'll land there after Victor Newman gets them some invitations. While Claire Newman is back in Genoa City fretting over Cole Howard, Audra and Kyle could be hooking up in Nice, especially if they become drugging victims. It'd be a good way for Audra's plot to get away from her if she ends up drugged and surrenders to temptation too. Of course, there might be other guests who spin out if this is a mass drugging event. Some altered drinks could be just what Sharon Newman and Nick Newman need to finally reconnect between the sheets. Even Devon Winters and Amanda Sinclair could sizzle in the bedroom again, depending on how it all plays out. My and our spoilers have hinted at Amanda and Devon's feelings rushing back, so some drugged beverages could play a role in that. There's also the possibility of Laylee Winters landing back in bed with a Kane Ashby recast, if that's who Billy Flynn is playing. What if Kane appears at this party and doesn't initially tell Lily that he's the infamous Aristotle Dumis? Lily might sleep with Kane before the whole Dumis scandal erupts if drugged drinks are involved. Some mass drugging mayhem could set up the fatal whodunit that's been teased as well, so we'll see how it all goes down. The Young and the Restless recap for Thursday, June 4, reveals that Audra Charles and Kyle Abbott will be poised to join Aristotle Dumis after she pushes Victor Newman to score 2 invites. In the park, Amy Lewis will be feeling much better after her treatment and will lock in her decision to move to Genoa City, so Audra and Nate Hastings will be thrilled. At the GCAC, Damian Kane won't be looking forward to firing Holden Novak now that Aristotle Dumis has given them both the boot. Damian will wonder if there's a place for Holden at Winters, so Lily Winters will agree to talk to Nate and Devon Winters about putting Holden in the hotel division too. Once Lily meets up with Nate in the park, she'll bring up the idea of hiring Holden, but he'll have reservations since he doesn't trust the guy. There'll also be some talk about Dumas' upcoming party, which Lily will be determined to attend since she'll want to look Dumas in the eye and get the whole truth. At the Newman Ranch on Thursday's I and R episode, Victor will tell Kyle that he's willing to accept his proposal. As Victor hands over the paperwork, he'll insist the contract follows the terms Kyle laid out. If Kyle breaks Claire Newman's heart, then he'll have to pay Victor $5 million and leave town. Kyle will initially want to have his lawyer look over the contract, but Victor will taunt him about looking for an out. After Kyle decides he doesn't need anyone to look over the contract after all, he'll sign it and hope he can make Victor see him as more than just Jack Abbott's son. Victor will act like he's impressed over Kyle making this commitment and will shake Kyle's hand before he goes. Although Audra will plan on having lunch with Amy, Victor will get her on the phone and demand a meeting now. Once Audra shows up at the ranch, Victor will complain about her not doing anything to break up Kyle and Claire. Audra will argue that these things take time, but Victor will warn that she'd better make something happen before he gets back from France. After Audra decides it'd be good to get Kyle away from Claire and Genoa City, she'll push Victor to find a way to get her invited to the party along with Kyle. Audra will suggest she can take care of the rest and will saunter out. Back at the GCAC, Damian will give Holden updates on Dumas firing them both. Holden will blame Damian and reject the idea of going to work at Winters. After Holden says it's time for a clean break, he'll walk out on his now former friend. Once Holden summons Audra to Crimson Lights, he'll open up about his bad news and get some comfort. At the athletic club, Amy will console Damian as well and agree to help him come up with a peace offering for Holden. though she'll hint that whatever he does should come from the heart. At the tack house, a doctor will examine Cole Howard and admit he doesn't like the sound of his chest. After the doc suspects it could be pneumonia, Victoria Newman will go with Cole to the hospital for x-rays and tests. Afterward, Claire will fill Kyle in and fret over Cole's condition, so he'll give her a pep talk. When Claire asks how things went with Victor, Kyle will insist it was fine and suggest he can give her the details later. The Young and the Restless is brewing a deadly twist. Joshua Morrow teased a murder mystery extravaganza that's about to rock the canvas. With Aristotle Dumis' spooky vibes and a Friday the 13th party, someone might not make it out alive. Let's dig into the chaos ahead. Joshua Morrow, known for playing Nick Newman, dropped a bomb in a fan video. During a Mother's Day cameo, he teased long working hours tied to a massive story. He called it a murder mystery extravaganza, instantly setting fans ablaze with theories. Considering how strange Aristotle Dumis' behavior has been, this storyline might not be a drill. The extended stay invitations and Friday the 13th party theme hint that danger is brewing. Adam already suspects a trap, and viewers can feel the tension rising. There's a chance this mystery is just a spooky party trick. Dumis is theatrical enough to stage a fake whodunit. Someone could appear to die, but later reveal it was all part of the game. However, with a warning like Morrow's, the risk of a real tragedy still looms. This could mirror past misdirection plots. Someone else might pose as Dumis, like Holden did with Damien. But what if the impersonator gets actually killed? That twist would push this mystery from harmless fun into dark territory. Vincent Stalba plays Carter, Dumis' odd but loyal assistant. Carter has been linked. His close ties to Dumis and shady presence make him the perfect pawn in this twisted game. Fans should watch closely. His role could expand fast, especially if blood spills. Another theory gaining steam is that Dumis might secretly be a recast Kane Ashby, portrayed now by Billy Flynn. If so, and the truth comes out during the party, he could be targeted. Kane's past isn't spotless, and enemies may use the mystery night to strike. Even if he survives, he might be left seriously injured. That would still bring chaos and drama, giving the storyline its shocking punch without a full-on death. No matter who ends up hurt, or worse, The Young and the Restless spoilers promise a chilling tale set in Dumis' luxurious summer home in Nice. A beautiful setting, high tension, and deadly secrets will blend for unforgettable scenes. The cast is filming intense sequences, and Morrow's words only confirm whether it's fake deaths, real ones, or a bit of both. I and our fans won't want to blink. In a dramatic twist that's set to send shockwaves through the lives of several beloved characters on The Young and the Restless, Devon Hamilton faces a devastating revelation. He may not be the biological father of little Dominic. Devon Hamilton's journey with baby Dominic began during a time of crisis. With Chance presumed dead and Abby desperate to start a family, Devon selflessly stepped in as a sperm donor to help bring her dream of motherhood to life. Their surrogate, Mariah, carried the baby, and Dominic was welcomed into the world as a symbol of hope and unity. Over time, Devon grew far beyond his role as a donor. He became a dedicated father figure, offering emotional support, financial stability, and even seeking legal rights to secure his. But now, everything may be about to change. New spoilers suggest a shocking twist. Devon might not be Dominic's biological father after all. Rumors point to a possible fertility clinic mix-up, or more alarmingly, deliberate tampering with donor samples. Theories swirl. Could someone like Nate or Tucker have orchestrated this behind the scenes? Could Chance, once believed infertile due to trauma, actually be the biological father? These unanswered questions have reignited tension among key players. If true, this revelation could not only tear apart the fragile family dynamics, but also create a legal and emotional storm for Devon. Devon has invested deeply in his relationship with Dominic, not just as a father, but as someone who fought to be a permanent presence in his son's life. The possibility of a mistaken paternity threatens to dismantle that. Insiders suggest Devon could respond with a custody battle or withdraw entirely, shutting out even Abby. Their already strained romantic history may face its final blow, especially if Devon believes she knowingly kept this secret to protect her ideal family image. And what if she did? What if Abby discovered the truth early on but stayed silent to avoid chaos? That possibility could ignite an explosive confrontation, one that leaves lasting scars across their relationships. Regardless of biology, Devon's bond with Dominic remains real. Yet soap operas are no strangers to testing the boundaries of love, identity, and family. As fans prepare for the emotional roller coaster ahead, one thing is certain: this storyline is poised to challenge everything we thought we knew about loyalty, parenthood, and trust in Genoa City. Whether Devon fights harder than ever for his place in Dominic's life or retreats into heartbreak, The Young and the Restless promises to deliver powerful storytelling that resonates with viewers of all ages. In a move that has daytime drama fans buzzing with disbelief and delight, The Young and the Restless may be staging one of the biggest comebacks in soap history. Victoria Rowell, the powerhouse actress who brought Drusilla Winters to life, is rumored to be returning, and fans are barely holding it together. Originally debuting in 1990, Drusilla rose from a troubled runaway to a high-fashion model and corporate executive. Her love story with Neil Winters became one of the most iconic romances on the show. But in 2007, her life ended, supposedly in a tragic cliff fall after a fight with Phyllis and Sharon. No body was ever recovered, and in the world of soaps, that means only one thing: anything is possible. For months, Y&R has been dropping subtle clues. A mysterious figure named Aristotle Dumis has appeared in Genoa City, quietly helping key characters from the shadows. Some fans are now convinced Aristotle is Drusilla, alive but suffering from amnesia, hiding under a new identity until the moment is right. Online forums are lighting up with frame-by-frame breakdowns of Aristotle's scenes. The body language is so Drusilla, one fan posted on Reddit. Others speculate she's been in a secret facility recovering for years, or that Victor Newman might have known all along. Is the ultimate reveal just episodes away? Victoria Rowell's exit from the show was more dramatic than any storyline. In 2007, she left abruptly, later revealing frustrations over the lack of diversity on set. She became an outspoken advocate for change, even filing a high-profile lawsuit in 2015 against CBS and Sony Pictures for alleged racial discrimination. A case eventually settled. But in 2025, tides seem to have turned. Rowell shared in a recent interview, "I've been contacted with great respect from the powers that be at CBS, thanking me for all my hard work, and I appreciate that." This has only fueled speculation that a secret return has been in the works for months. If there's one thing the Y&R fandom knows how to do, it's rally behind their icons. Social media has exploded with reactions, some joyful, others in shock. "She's back from the dead. This is the twist we've waited 18 years for. You can't bring back Drusilla without fireworks. I need chaos. I need Phyllis to scream. If Victoria Rowell walks back into Crimson Lights, I'm gonna need oxygen." Drusilla's fans are loyal and vocal. The hashtag Drusilla Lives has begun trending on X, with thousands sharing favorite clips and emotional moments from her original run. Drusilla's reappearance won't just shock the audience, it will send aftershocks through the storyline. Her daughter Lily, now a strong executive in her own right, may struggle with anger and abandonment. Her adopted son Devon could finally get answers about the mother who vanished. And let's not forget Phyllis and Sharon, two of the women who were present during the cliff incident. Old feuds could reignite with new fury. Will Drusilla seek revenge or redemption? Writers have an opportunity to craft one of the most emotionally rich arcs the show has seen in years, and the stakes have never been higher. For many, Drusilla Winters was more than a soap character. She was representation, resilience, and raw power on screen. Her return, if confirmed, would not just be a gift to longtime fans, but a bold step toward healing old wounds, both on screen and behind the scenes. In a city already brimming with power struggles, emotional betrayals, and high-stakes corporate rivalries, a new and mysterious force is about to send shockwaves through Genoa City. The sudden emergence of Aristotle Dumis, a reclusive billionaire with a deeply personal vendetta, threatens not only the stability of the Newman and Abbott empires, but the very fabric of trust and loyalty among its most powerful players. Phyllis Summers, long entangled in the bitter dynamics of the Newman and Abbott families, has uncovered a truth that could shatter the city's elite. Working covertly with Jack Abbott, she reveals that Aristotle Dumis is not just a stranger with wealth, but a man with a targeted plan of revenge. Even more chilling is the possibility that Dumis is the secret son of Tucker McCall, an old adversary of Jack's, making the threat deeply personal. Dumis's rise isn't a coincidence. His calculated moves suggest a grand design to dismantle both the Abbott and Newman dynasties, starting with a shadowy dinner invitation on June 13, 2025, at a secluded chateau in France. This gathering of Genoa's elite is more than a social event. It's the first chess move in what promises to be a brutal game of manipulation and betrayal. At the heart of this unfolding drama stands Billy Abbott, a man tormented by past failures and consumed by hatred for Victor Newman. While others sense danger in Dumis's invitation, Billy dismisses the warnings. His single-minded pursuit of revenge blinds him to the true stakes, both personal and professional. Behind the scenes, Dumis has been communicating directly with Billy since March, pulling him deeper into a trap masked as an alliance. The secrecy has begun to poison Billy's relationship with Sally Spectra, his partner in business and life. Sally, having sacrificed everything for the success of Abbott Communications, finds herself sidelined as Billy prioritizes vendetta over vision. Sally's disappointment grows as Billy postpones the company's most critical product launch, a decision that reflects more than just poor timing. It signals a fracture in leadership and trust. Her dedication to the company, rooted in sacrifices and hard choices, is now overshadowed by Billy's obsession. What was once a shared dream teeters on collapse, threatening to undo everything they've built. This isn't just about business. It's about loyalty, love, and the choices that define integrity. As Sally tries to hold the company and her partner together, Billy's defiance isolates him, turning their professional crisis into a personal tragedy. Back in Genoa City, Jack Abbott, armed with Phyllis's revelations, begins to grasp the gravity of the situation. Aristotle Dumis is not merely a businessman. He's a strategic adversary with the potential to undo decades of legacy. With the Newman and Abbott empires in his crosshairs, Jack must navigate a minefield of alliances and deceptions. Even as Jack and Diane prepare for the French gathering, questions loom. Why was Adam Newman, the typically central son of Victor, excluded? Why does the date, Friday the 13th, echo with ominous symbolism? Is this just a personal vendetta, or is Dumis orchestrating a much broader power shift? With each passing day, the tension in Genoa City grows more palpable. The characters find themselves caught between ambition and survival, between history and destiny. Billy's downward spiral, Sally's heartbreak, and Jack's awakening all converge on the looming threat posed by Aristotle Dumis. June 13th will be more than just a date on the calendar. It will be the stage for a confrontation that may redefine the city's future. As Aristotle Dumis quietly orchestrates his next moves, the question is no longer if chaos will erupt, but who will survive it. The storylines unfolding in Genoa City have reached a critical turning point. What began as isolated tensions now coalesce into a larger, more dangerous narrative where every decision carries weight. Whether it's business empires, personal relationships, or legacies at stake, the arrival of Aristotle Dumis has transformed the battleground. He's going to be a dad. In a heartwarming and surprising announcement, the young and the restless Alum Scene Kerrigan, known for his portrayal of Stitch Rayburn, recently shared some life-changing news with his fans. Kerrigan took to Instagram to reveal that he and his girlfriend, Jasmine Tempsky, are expecting a baby, set to arrive in August 2025. They've also revealed the baby's name, Susan Maxine Kerrigan. The post, captioned simply with the phrase, "knocked up," was met with an outpouring of support and excitement from both fans and fellow stars. Many took to the comments to express their joy for the couple, with familiar names like Y and R co-stars Brittany Sarpy, Eileen Davidson, and Michael Rourke all sending their heartfelt congratulations. Kerrigan's fans have watched his journey on screen and off, and this new chapter is one that everyone is eager to follow. The joyful news not only marks an exciting personal milestone for Kerrigan, but also brings a fresh wave of love and positivity to his social media following, with fans celebrating this best news ever, as one fan put it. Kerrigan's announcement comes at a time when many Y and R fans are reflecting on the show's deep connections to real-life milestones. The actor's portrayal of Stitch on the show, a role marked by ups and downs, dramatic twists, and a shocking kidnapping of Mariah when she was pregnant with Abby and Devon's baby, now feels even more poignant in the wake of this personal milestone. For those who followed Kerrigan's character on My and R, his real-life news is a welcome twist of its own, proving that happiness can come in the most unexpected ways. Fans can't wait to see how this new chapter in his life unfolds, both personally and professionally.